Hello, my Virgos. Remember, this is a full moon weekend. Also, remember, this is a general reading. It may or may not resonate. Take what you like, leave the rest. I've done an introduction about what's going on. Interesting stuff. I did a reading with my, my Waite Rider Tarot and my Osha Zen, and there was some really interesting cards there. So, take a look. And if you want to know more about me, it's all on that introduction too. So let's see, my Virgos, let's jump right in and see what higher power, what do you have for our Virgos for this full moon energy weekend? Strong energies this weekend too. So 1, 2, and 3. And get your journals out. I don't know. Is there something that you need to journal, my Virgos? I'm kind of feeling like you need to be writing. There's going to be some writing. Get your journals. So sometimes that means that you're going to have a lot of dreams, maybe some prophetic visions. I'm not sure. But get your journals out. Somebody out there needs to be writing more. Okay, first card is the 5 of Fire. Now, this is the 5 of Rods that was in the introduction. So the 5 has some change energy. Fire is our Aries, which Jupiter is in Aries, and that has something to do with this full moon. It is also our Leo, our Sagittarius. It is passionate, burning, very determined energy. There's a lot of, this feels different than what was in the beginning, except it's still going through the motions, okay? Now, the 5 of Fire has some competition. The 5 of Fire has some, striving to get to the next place. But again, I'm feeling like it's all about, now this does connect with that introduction. It is about going through the motions. Now, the thing about this, my Virgos, is, maybe there's maybe you're being offered a job, but you have to go through the interview process. And it seems a little bit tedious. It seems a little bit tiresome. The thing is, you still have to go through the motions. You still have to, tick off the steps, okay? So the 5 of Fire, there is still the stuff you still have to do. It's kind of like long division, whereas when we're kids, we learn short division. We learn, okay, this is the end of it all. And then it came to the point where it was long division, and it was like, show your work. So the 5 of Fire, again, it's one of those things. It's like you still have to go through the motions, and you still have to show your work. You still have, and it does feel tiring. It's kind of like, why? They know my work. But this is again, I don't know if this is a new job because, remember, I think one of the last two ones said employment change for you yet again. And this is again, show your work. Anyway, competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. So let's see our next card, the Queen of Water. So now, Queens, court cards have underlying energies. So the Queen's underlying energy is water, and yet this is water. So this is a very spiritual energy. This is a very, this is Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, fluid, emotional, very, again, spiritual, very emotional, very something that your heart is set upon, okay? Queens are court cards. Queens stand in their power. Queens are very loving, very caring energies also. And this makes this queen a little bit more caring. So sometimes, and we have that Cancer full moon. So this is really engaging. Now this has a little bit of like you're putting your heart and soul into something. You're just wanting something very badly. You're just loving something very strongly. And yet you have to go through the motions, and it just feels a little overwhelming. It just feels a little, it's almost like, there's a lot of people out there that are energy vampires, and it's almost like you have to put so much into something, and they're like sucking up your energy. So you really do need to, my Virgos, this would be one of those weekends that, not to say that you don't put your heart out there, that you don't show what it is. I'm not saying that, because the Queen of Water to me is also picking up that vulnerability again. So, but this is also, be very protective of your energies, okay? What I do, basically I ask higher power to cover me in the cloak of protection, and, there's a lot of things you can do Some people like to wear their, the crystals, things like that, hug a tree. But again, there's a lot of protection needed with this. Okay? Energy protection is what is more the case of it. More of the energy protection. Hold on to a crystal. Like I said, hug a tree. Anyway, very spiritual, and maybe this is why I'm asking you to do your writing, so that, because when you take your thoughts, when you take your, what you're seeing, and you put it down on paper, you're connecting it into this plane, okay? Into this existence. Tender-hearted, empathetic, patient, loving. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. So take care. I'm not saying not to care for the others, but this is a good weekend for you to take care of yourself too. Okay, next card, reversed. Strong stuff is now the Queen of Fire. So we've got, so here you have water. You have two waters, and now you have two fires with it too, because the Queen's underlying energy is water. So you've got this mixture between the water and the fire. Now, what we can think about it is, many times you put fire under water, pot of water, it becomes steam. It becomes, things are starting to move. Fire energy, again, that Leo, Sagittarius, but it's that Aries. And Jupiter, what did I say? Jupiter in Aries was squaring, I think. So it was really kind of putting the pressure on that full moon, and that full moon was putting the pressure on Jupiter to show your stuff. Again, it's show your work. It's that, it's that long division. I want to see what you're made of. But the Queen of Fire is bigger. So there's one of the parts. One part is you may be feeling this inside, like, maybe you're feeling very vulnerable, very, very exposed in some ways. But now the Queen of Fire is saying you've got to not bury it per se, but you've got to hide that. You cannot let whoever or whatever know that. You need to, again, protect your energy so that it's not being leached off of you. And then the Queen of Fire is basically saying, you've got this. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that you are worthy. You have to know that you deserve. Okay? So the Queen of Fire, so whatever's going on, it may feel emotional. It may feel, just kind of like heart-wrenching. But then it's kind of like acknowledge it, understand it, because you have to. If you hide it, it will come back at another time when you're not prepared for that, and you don't want it. The Queen of Fire is kind of that fake it till you make it, babe. Okay, so confident, warm, intelligent, and graceful. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. So you've got that 5. There's some changes happening. You might have to go through the motions. You're gonna, you have to, it's not just going to be handed to you. You have to do a little work for it. But between that Queen of Water, remember, these are queens. These are queens, and they are, they are rulers. So own that. Okay. Higher power, what else can you say for this weekend? What else can you say? But I do feel like you do need to be doing your writing. Do your writing, my Virgos. Okay, let's see what else we have for my Virgos. My Virgos. Spiritual union. So this is a 2 of Cups. This is 2 of Water. This is I'm not sure if this is your spiritual union with God, Source, Holy Spirit, ancestors, or if this is with someone else that's in this plane, but this is a very deep, deep, romantic, or is it romantic? Maybe. It's intimate relationship. It does connect very strongly with this Queen. Not sure where we're going to go with it, but this is the 2 of Cups, 2 of Water, and it is really deeply connected with another. Okay. Who is that about? What's that about, my Virgos? Is that a new love, or is that a love that you already have? Again, and maybe, and you know what? If we're going to go down with a relationship, maybe you don't, maybe there's somebody that just needs you to tell them that they love you, that you love them. Maybe you're going through the motions, and it doesn't mean that you don't. It just means sometimes they need to hear it. Okay, not sure. Let's see. You tell me, my Virgos. Anyway, let's see what we've got here. Higher power, what would you like to, what else would you like to say? Oh, no, we did that one already. Sorry. We know that. Spiritual union. Anyway, the spiritual union is also telling me that this person was brought in, we have Mercury retrograde, so somebody from the past, it could be, or it could be a resurgence of a past emotion. Maybe things were feeling a little stale. Maybe they felt like they were going through the motion, and now they're just kind of steaming up again. And I like that energy. I do like that. Okay, let's see what else we might have here. Angels of Abundance. What do you have for our Virgos? Yeah, sometimes with relationships, when we get used to each other, they seem a little bit they don't seem as fresh, but this energy freshens things up quite a bit. Okay, next card is no more complaining, my Virgos. Anyway, okay, complaints are affirmation of victimhood, which is never true spiritually. Take back your God-given power by affirming that you have abundance of choices and freedoms. You're the queens, remember? With your increased confidence and assertiveness, watch these positive affirmations blossom into reality. How does that fit, do you think? Let me know. Anyway, let's see what we got going here. What crystal or energy? Oops. What crystal or energy do we have for our Virgos? What do we have for our Virgos? So no more complaining, my Virgos. Just put out there, you are not a victim. And whether it be male or female, this is ruling energy. This is lovely energy here. And there is a spiritual union there. There is something that is just so positively just for you. Okay, here we go. Black obsidian. Strength, support during changes, everyday stress relief, clears negative energy. Okay. And I love black tourmaline. I love black obsidian, even though I was saying how much I love this to somebody at my booth at the shop. And I'm like, oh, I need to get a black tourmaline or a black obsidian bracelet. Anyway, my Virgos, I want you to understand this is an exciting time, but I do want you to also be writing a little bit more. It does connect you with your feelings, but it also makes whatever's going on out there, it brings it to earth. Anyway, my Virgos, take a moment, please, to do the like, share, subscribe, click on the bell for notifications. You help a lot by doing that. As always, my Virgos, always know that you are loved. Stay shining and be blessed. Bye-bye.